coming out of the holiday season as we are, and I'm going to start, Jill, with you and ask you just plain and simple, straight out, do we have too much stuff?
Oh, yes, we do. We all do. Even those who think we don't, we have too much stuff.
And why do we have too much stuff?
Well, I mean, everybody tells us that we're going to feel happier, thinner, smarter, sexier if we buy this, that, or the other, you know, and so we believe them. Advertising is very powerful, Andrea, as you know. So it's subliminal and very unsubliminal messaging that makes us feel that we need to feather our nest, over feather our nest. It's, you know, at the moment, it's also a way to have some therapy, right? Retail therapy is a real thing. You know, some of us has sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever. Buying makes us feel good. It gives us a rush. So that's one of the reasons why.
Or what was your view of the Buy No More campaign ad?
Well, I mean, I love that. I'm pretty into, when I work with people, often I'll say, let's not make a list of things we need. Let's make a list of things we do not need, things you don't need to buy for a really long time. And, you know, it strikes me, I mean, we're talking about, you know, buying things, gifts and technology and things for ourselves, but with people on Consumed and with people that I work with, private clients, a lot of it is because they can't find what they already have, because they're so inundated with their stuff, they go out and it's cheap and easy to just go buy something else. And these big box stores, which are amazing, of course, because things are cheaper, just make it easy to walk in and spend hundreds of dollars on a bunch of stuff that you don't need. If you can't find your scissors, just go buy another pair of scissors. If you can't find your black pants, go buy another pair. And so because we're so stuffed and consumed with things, and because it's cheap and because it's easy, we don't actually take care of the things that we want and we use. We just go out and buy more. It's the old planned obsolescence, and that it's cheap, you know, that it's, what do the French say? Le plus bon marché, le plus cher. The cheaper it is, the more expensive it is, because we just use it and throw it away. It becomes very disposable, and we're not caring for what we have, and we end up being buried by our stuff, so it's just go out and buy more. And so it's not just like, oh, I'd like those bags and I'd like that, you know, those shoes, and I'm going to get myself a new iPad. It's really just, I can't find this, I'll just go to the store and get more.
Well, the one thing that the pictures that we just saw screamed out at us was that people clearly don't value open space in their living areas. Why do they not seem to prize that value?
Well, you know what? I believe that, and I say this all the time, people let their stuff own them. And I always say, own your stuff, don't let your stuff own you. It feels very much like a buffet or a dinner party where the hostess is, or all this food is free. You can have this, and we feel the need because it's free or it's cheap or we paid to take it, to eat it, to, you know what I mean, take it in. So if it comes in the house, it's hard to get rid of it. So we feel the need to keep it around. You know, we don't know what to do with it, and I think that's what we've been talking about, is how to actually purge this stuff. And, you know, that's part of the problem. We feel guilty. We took it in. We meant to do it. We should have used it. We wanted to. We spent the money on the pants, and so how come we're not wearing them? Or, you know, and I think that getting rid of it is the process why we have such a problem of it. And we really, I mean, you know, we said Anthony had pictures of rooms, the garage, which is not used for the car, and a guest room or an extra room, which is used as a storage room, you know, a piece of exercise equipment that's used to hang clothes on. We are not even using the items for which they're intended now, because we can't keep up with the, you know, jigsaw puzzle just keeps piling on, and at some point, you know, people just give up. It's sort of like, oh, I have to lose 10 pounds, I might as well eat another cookie. You know what I mean? It's too much effort to move it, right? It's very Newtonian. A body at rest remains at rest unless acted upon, and it's very exhausting to act upon all the stuff in your house, especially when you don't know what to do with it. You know, you want to recycle responsibly. I bought that to give to the grandkids, so you have to put it in and mail. It's a lot of effort to, like, parcel it out properly, and so people just leave it. It's inertia. The families, they have so little time to be with each other, but that, you know, really is about having too much stuff, because when you're inundated with stuff, there's a lot of time and energy you spend moving things around, feeling guilty about it, building on top of each other. And people always say, oh, well, I can't afford an organizer, or I don't have any time to get rid of my stuff or organize my stuff. And I think to myself, how do you not have time to do it? Because it's not just people don't realize that it's not just the quick feel-good of acquiring something, but it's really unhealthy on so many levels. We think, oh, it's bad for the environment and it's really a cluttering in our home, but it's affecting us, psychologically. It's affecting us, our health. It's affecting our relationships. People have their, faces in their technology. They literally build physical walls between each other, boxes of games, things that aren't used. People are not eating dinner at their dining room table. Why? Because the dining room table is piled with stuff. They want to play games with their family, but they can't play because there's no room on the coffee table because it's filled with stuff. They each go to their own rooms. They're eating in their own rooms. They're not spending time together because there's too much stuff, and I think that's the problem. We're obviously talking about the environment, and I think that's a huge part of this, but when we're talking about our own environment, I mean, feng shui, the issue is your home is really, an extension of your body, and if your home is cluttered and not flowing properly and not healthy, then your relationships, your mind, all that is really a domino effect. So I can't believe that people think they don't have the time to do it. I think they don't not have the time to do it.
How many kids you got?
I have one, and he's turning 5 in a couple of weeks. And it's interesting that you asked this question because for his birthday party, I sent a note that said, in lieu of gifts, please donate to, and we chose Willow the chinchilla at the Children's Museum. So that was, even though I wanted to donate to the NRDC, I thought maybe he's 5, maybe he needs something a little more tangible. So we're going to, in honor of his birthday, donate to an animal at the museum that he can touch and feel, and he'll have a private meeting with. So he understands this is in honor of his birthday.
Yeah, what does he think of that idea, though?
This is what do I think this is an appetite that we create for children. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm just wondering what he thinks of that idea.
He loves it.
He does like the idea.
He's talking about Willow the chinchilla. Okay. He loves it. I was going to say, we create this need for the kids. They don't know. It's like they don't know the taste of sugar really until we give it to them. Now, I'm not obviously saying no sugar, but we are creating this sort of drug where everything is a gift. Everything is, oh, here's a reward. And I love, Anthony's reward, but it's like for Hanukkah, people are like, are you giving 8 gifts a night? I'm taking away the joy of lighting the candle. I realize he's only 5, but you take away the joy of things when you keep piling. It's sort of like, how do you choose a cereal? There are a million cereals to choose from. I mean, it's just too much choice, and I think that we as adults are creating this need for children. He gets gifts all the time, not all the time, but sort of like, if you're a good listener for a week, we're going to get that one, Lego block project that you want. So that feeling of earning something, just because it's Hanukkah, it's Christmas, it's Kwanzaa, whatever, you get 100 gifts. I have my clients, and I advocate all the time that people give experiences, as you were saying, rather than gifts. A consumable, some wine, massages, a dinner out. Then because you give that sweater and it's not the right color, and you know what? It stays in a box in the hallway, and you don't return it. By the time you return it, you don't get the price for it, and then you feel guilty because you didn't return it. Oh my God, I better wear that sweater, but I don't like it anyway. So to be able to give people a choice of what they want, and I think that's something we're creating an appetite for the kids. And so I just say, don't start with it. Ask grandparents to give money for their, college tuition or for their first car, something they can feel.
Right on. Part of what you do is to try to get people to part with some of their stuff. And I want to know what happens when you go to these people and you say to them, okay, this, out. How do they react?
Well, it's interesting. I'm just hearing the point that, what do we regard as essential? And what we do on Consumed is we tell people you can keep everything that's essential for work or for school or obviously for your health or, making food. But everything else goes, and I mean everything else. Truck it up. We have moving trucks, box everything up, goes to the warehouse for a few weeks. And then I tell them they can pick 10 non-essential items. So things that, that aren't obviously essential. And it's so interesting how often, when it's not absolutely necessary, they often have trouble coming up with, I don't know, what's non-essential. And they live without all this stuff for weeks. And then they have this hopefully, our hope is that they have this aha moment in that they have been drowning and literally consumed with their stuff, and so that they're able to really let go of a lot of it, And I think that's a really interesting way to look at things. What's essential? What do you really need? And when you realize what, you need a few books. I mean, that we are truly living in our own kind of warehouses. It's very liberating. I mean, they spend time together that they never did before, and they really are able to go through things and realize, I don't need this. It's about when on the show and in general when I go through people's homes, it's about taking literal inventory of their life. Where were they? Where are they? And where do they want to go? Well, so much of their stuff is memorabilia, holding on to the past. I used to wear this. My kids, I brought my child home in this outfit. A lot of it is just, the fear of the future, the fear of growing old. I mean, it must be Freudian, the fear of death, because they hold on to the past, and because of that, they're actually not dealing with their present. The past is, I used to fit into really small jeans. Well, the present is, I had a baby and I don't fit into those jeans anymore, but darn it, they looked good on me. And now it's sort of like, okay, well, by the time these jeans come back, stonewashed jeans will be out anyway. So there's a lot of that, where I used to be this young, pretty, whatever, or I was a single. And this sort of, our sort of description of ourselves in the past is very powerful, and it's hard to let go of these things. So that's what we do, and that's what I try and get people to do, is realize, this is the now. Do the best now. Go into your closet and wear the clothes that fit you now. And when you lose the 50 pounds, go buy those new jeans, girl, I was going to say, I'm no economist, but I'm pretty sure that we don't have to buy manufactured items to maintain an economy or to keep an economy. There are plenty of services, restaurants, seamstresses, handymen. There are plenty of things that we can help support without necessarily buying, another pair of shoes. And so I do think manufacturing, of course, could be affected if we stop buying so much, but there are plenty of other things that we can do, like travel and
that's a
leisure,
fair point.
things that plenty of people want jobs in.
That's a fair point.